The right wing has been speculating on who leaked the draft opinion by the majority in the United States Supreme Court. That majority would overturn Roe v. Wade, thus making abortion illegal in much of the country. 13 states would automatically ban most forms of abortion as soon as that decision is handed down. Now, the pro-life party, as we know, is incredibly hypocritical, tends to be the party that supports the death penalty, tends to be the party that supports loosened gun restrictions, regardless of how many children get shot up in a mass shooting at a school. It's also the party that just absolutely loves to terrorize people who disagree with them politically by issuing all sorts of death threats. And they have decided, a group of conservatives have decided to speculate over who the leaker is. They've named a specific person, even though there's no evidence that this person leaked the draft opinion. And that person is now dealing with death threats because, of course, I mean, they're not hypocrites at all. For instance, Operation Rescue, the notorious anti-abortion activist group responsible for some of the movement's most outrageous tactics, joined the fray, issuing a press release declaring that the leak had most likely come from the office of, and I'm not going to share it here, it's stupid and I don't want to share their disinformation, a liberal justice. The staffer's name had become a hashtag and his picture was plastered across Twitter, along with abundant calls for the individual's disbarment, incarceration for life, or prosecution for treason. I said it on the show before, but I'll say it again. Even if we find out who the leaker is, which I don't care about at all. I don't care if he's conservative, I don't care if it's a woman, man, conservative, liberal, doesn't matter. This person's like dealing with insane death threats. And the right wing, curiously, instead of being boastful about what they've just done by overturning Roe v. Wade, it's imminent, it'll happen by June. They're just focusing on that leaker. That's it, they're just focusing on that leaker. Why? I mean, wasn't this like a big win for you guys? Don't you want to be hyper focused on taking rights away from women? Isn't that what voters want? They want to hear about how you like to take rights away from women and how you want to reverse gay marriage and all that. Like, why aren't you guys bragging about that? They're focusing on the leaker because it is a distraction from the fact that they're taking rights away from people. They're taking rights away from people that have been around for 50 years. They are regressive. That is what conservatives in this country represent. They represent regressives. That is who they are. So force them to address that and stop letting them frame the conversation. I don't care about the leaker. Don't care. The leaker, by the way, didn't break a law. You want to try him for treason? Okay. How about you learn about the actual laws we have on the books? So stupid. But who cares? This is the last time I'm going to allow a discussion about the damn leaker on this program, okay? And if it gets brought up, I'm going to shut it down because I don't care. Let's talk about what Roe v. Wade and its reversal actually means, because that's the only thing that matters right now. By a nearly 2-to-1 margin, voters oppose overturning Roe v. Wade, according to a new Politico Morning Consult poll conducted immediately after Politico published a draft opinion from the Supreme Court that would eviscerate the 1973 precedent guaranteeing federal abortion rights. Oh, it's unpopular, super unpopular. So force Republicans to own it. Don't let them do the same thing they did when we found out about the NSA indiscriminately spying on every single American in this country. That was when Edward Snowden served as a whistleblower. He unfortunately made the mistake of going to Glenn Greenwald, who's an embarrassment now, but at the time was a decent journalist. And what did right-wingers focus on? Oh, is this considered treason? Let's debate about that all day, all night. Let's not address the fact that the NSA is indiscriminately spying on Americans, violating their privacy rights. And to let the right wing do that again in this context, when it comes to something that they have executed, something that they have done that is deeply unpopular, is just honestly political negligence, it's stupidity. I see it happening with Democrats just helping to bolster their nonsense about the leaker. And I also see it happening with the corporate media. Wake up, no one cares. No real person is sitting around thinking like, you know, I am a little bit concerned about my freedoms and my rights being taken away, but maybe we should have a discussion about the leaker and what the intentions were. Who cares? They were gonna overturn Roe v. Wade no matter what. I don't care if it's a conservative. I don't care if it's a Republican. I don't care if it's a liberal. Who cares? Hey, boomers who are hyper-focused on electoral politics, wake up, wake up. Let's focus on what really matters here. Because it's not just about abortion rights. It's about the kind of precedent overturning Roe v. Wade leads to. Because they're coming for gay marriage next. They're coming for contraception next. They're coming for basic rights so people can be treated with dignity, so they can live lives of dignity. That's what they're coming for. Instead, we're gonna go ahead and like chase the squirrel that Republicans have thrown out there. Oh, who's the leaker? Who cares? Anyway, Larry Kudlow, I think, is a perfect example of a Republican who's intentionally downplaying the ramifications of this draft opinion. And I want you to listen to what he says, and I'll explain exactly why he's doing this. Let's watch.
It does not end abortion. The procedure will still be legal. It will be up to the states to determine. It'll be up to the voters to determine and the legislatures to determine. It was never meant to be, in my opinion, and this is what Alito is getting at, it was not a constitutional right. It does not appear in the Constitution. And so therefore, it should never have been federalized. Half the states will permit abortions and half the states are going to severely restrict them. I don't know any states that will stop abortions. So people will be free to choose where they want to live, what state jurisdiction. But unelected judges, I think, should not decide these issues. Now look, if the Congress, Senate, and the House want to decide this issue, that's fine. They are elected representatives.
As we shared with you on the show yesterday, Republicans are now eyeing a federal ban on abortions past 6 weeks. They're already, but they tell you exactly what they're gonna do. Listen, I disagree with the right wing, deeply, deeply disagree with them politically, but they don't lie to us. They tell us exactly what they're gonna do. Okay, now Kudlow's downplaying it, but the last part there, you should pay attention to because that's exactly what they're doing. They're planning on capturing Congress, taking back the House and the Senate, which might not be so difficult, considering all the gerrymandering and voter suppression laws that they passed in their states, and the inaction that we saw from Democrats when it came to passing a voting rights bill. So once they take charge in Congress, and once they have the White House, whether it's Trump, DeSantis, Tucker Carlson, who knows, whoever ends up leading the Republican Party, they will absolutely do away with the Senate filibuster. We won't have to hear about the legislative filibuster in the Senate, and they will pass an abortion ban. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. They'll probably find ways to ban contraceptives. They'll probably get rid of Plan B, which is the so-called morning after pill. They want to overturn gay marriage in the country. Like, they're very honest about what they're doing. So I've noticed that there are a lot of conservative women on Twitter. This is all anecdotal, but they like to regurgitate what they've heard on conservative media. And conservative media is telling them, these baddie left-wingers, they're trying to fearmonger about what this means, but we're not gonna outlaw abortion. Come on, this doesn't outlaw abortion. Take it easy, take it easy. It's gonna be left up to the states, except it won't be left up to the states, because once they pass a federal law banning abortion past 6 weeks, federal law supersedes state law. That is exactly what's gonna happen. And guess what? That is a deeply, deeply unpopular political move to make. So let's force the Republican Party to talk about that, to own it, to sit on the mantle of taking rights away from people, to proudly declare that they're the ones who want to take away rights that we've had in this country for 50 years. To basically admit that they're regressives and to say it over and over again. That's what we should be forcing them to do. Instead, all I see from the corporate media is, who was the leaker? Was it a conservative? What were the intent? Who cares? Who cares? Women are about to lose their rights. They're not going to have agency over their own bodies, and you're worried about the electoral ramifications. If you're really worried about electoral ramifications, force Republicans to talk about the unpopular move that they just made. Force Republicans to own something that is deeply unpopular. They should have done that with the Trump era tax cuts for the rich, which also polled poorly. Democrats didn't focus on that because Democrats also kind of like, they love the tax cuts. They're millionaires themselves, trading individual stocks in their position of power as if it's not a conflict of interest. But I mean, it's just political negligence to allow Republicans to constantly frame the discussion, to go along with whatever narrative they want to go with. Now, I also want to talk about Samuel Alito's opinion, because he's the one who wrote the draft. He's the person who writes the majority opinion here. Part of the opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito explicitly references Obergefell versus Hodges, the landmark decision to legalize same-sex marriage, and Lawrence v. Texas, a decision that legalized sodomy. It's important to focus on the fact that he mentioned that, because in the leaked opinion, Alito says these decisions do not protect rights that are deeply rooted in history. So he's singling out a law that made sodomy legal. And he's like, not so fast. We should look out for that. Maybe there aren't constitutional protections. Maybe the government should be in your business, and maybe the government has the right to tell you that you're not allowed to get a blowy. No butt sex for you, okay? That's the small government that conservatives are into. They want to get into your bedroom like the disgusting little perverted creeps that they are. These attempts to justify abortion through appeals to a broader right to autonomy and to define one's concept of existence prove too much, Alito wrote, claiming that the right to autonomy could license fundamental rights to illicit drug use, prostitution, and the like. These are just people who like salivate over the thought of forcing their religion to dictate your life. They want a theocracy. They want to get involved in your bedroom and figure out what kind of sex acts you're engaged in. I mean, can you imagine laws banning sodomy? That's really? That's what Alito is like salty about? We got to make sure that we uphold those laws. Don't want anyone having any pleasure in this country. Make them talk about this. For anyone who actually cares about preserving whatever rights we have left and then fighting for more rights, make them talk about the unpopular positions they have. And I'm not just talking about Alito, I'm talking about the core of the Republican Party. They want to allow corporate America to screw you, to rob you. They want to prevent you from being able to unionize. They love it. They love it. They love that your employers have a fiduciary responsibility, not to you, but to their shareholders, which means that they'll crush you as the worker. They love that. They want to protect that. That's why they distract from that by delving into various, oftentimes manufactured culture war issues. And then when it comes to the social side of things, they just want to take away your freedoms and they want to take away your rights, because this isn't about life or death. It isn't. This is about control. This is about power. This is about using women's bodies and whether or not they will have agency over their bodies as a political tool and a weapon, and that is what they're doing right now. It is not popular. 2/3 of the country rejects it. So force them to talk about it. That's it. Who cares about the leaker? Maybe we'll find out who it is, maybe we won't, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, our rights are being taken away. That should be the issue that takes the front seat.